Angela Rayner is no stranger to stirring up controversy on national television, and this latest episode is no exception. The Labour government has long been criticized for dodging accountability, but Angela Rayner has taken things to a whole new level with a clip that has sparked global backlash. In today's video, we'll watch an astonishing moment where Angela Rayner speaks with such misplaced confidence that it has led to widespread ridicule. At the end of July, Rayner publicly dismissed Nigel Farage as a conspiracy theorist for raising concerns about the Southport terror attack. Yet it turns out that Farage was absolutely right. As Deputy Prime Minister, Rayner likely knew all along that the situation was far more serious than she let on. Farage's claims, which were initially written off, were later vindicated when it emerged that the government was aware of the attacker's connection to an al-Qaeda training manual, but deliberately withheld this information from the public. Why? To avoid sparking tensions within certain communities. This revelation exposes a glaring failure of leadership and accountability. It also highlights how the Labour government's attempts to control the narrative have backfired spectacularly. Angela Rayner's attempts to discredit others have now left her facing global humiliation. Let's take a look at the clip and break down exactly what went wrong. Have a watch of this.
The real concern for me with this, and it's happening time and time again now as well, is that before the facts are known, even before the family and the victims know the facts, people are jumping to conclusions. Now, can you imagine if you're in those circles? You want the answers, you want to know, why is this happening?
But also imagine your horror, your most desperate moment of your life being piggybacked by people in order to cause trouble. Now, I think it's pretty clear that one of the people doing the piggybacking was Nigel Farage. Nigel Farage put out a statement online yesterday, and as ever, when he does this, he skirts around the hard language, but he speaks in a code that his supporters understand, that anyone with ears and a brain understands. And the code is, I'm making this about me, I'm making this about immigration, I'm making this about fight for your country, all of that kind of language, that nationalistic and worse language. He's a race baiter, isn't he?
I just think I've had my issues with Nigel Farage. In previous elections, you can find footage of me taking Nigel Farage on about that poster that he did that time, you know, trying to stir up
with the row of people behind him.
With the row of people trying to stir up problems and troubles.
And he's an MP now.
I know, and that is the point really. As a member of Parliament, he must understand that you have a level of responsibility. You're a community leader. You're elected to represent your constituency, and therefore you have a level of responsibility with that. And it's not to stoke up what conspiracy theories or what you think might have happened, or lean it into what you think. Actually, there's a responsibility to say the police are doing a difficult job. Local authorities, all of the services that are on the ground, we want to establish facts as soon as possible, and we have a responsibility to hold the community together and say, let's get the facts, and then let's look at what the actual solutions are and what we can do about the horrific situation that we find ourselves in, not to stir up these, fake news online. And I think that that's really painful for people who are in those circumstances as well, that are caught up in a trauma that instantly happened. They suddenly, their whole world has changed. They need the support of the family liaison officers. They need the police to be talking to them first. And they need the support of those agencies. That what they don't need to do is see online that what's happened to them is somehow being debated about what could have been or couldn't have been.
Is it time to look at the legitimacy of the English Defence League? The police said before these events, and they've said